to the Body, Mind, Spirit series, episode 9. This is going to be on authenticity, guys. So, what does authenticity have to do with health? Usually we think about it in terms of leadership or teaching or setting an example for others so that we can relate to them with an authentic approach and gain their followership. However, this has an intimate relationship with health, and this is what we're going to be unraveling in this discussion. Each of us is going to define it and tie it together in correlation to health.
My name is Coach Shirazi. I'm a holistic health practitioner. I have a master's degree in strength and conditioning from the University of Miami, and I work with clients in order to achieve physical body mastery. Now, authenticity when relating to the physical body deals with our goals and where we are and staying true to ourselves and being honest with ourselves. So if we want to, have a six-pack or have a beautiful beach body, but we're in chronic low back pain, we're not sleeping well, we're not eating well, maybe that isn't the initial goal. So authenticity would mean, how about we get out of pain first, raise the energy levels in the body, begin to implement healthier habits, and then we work on that six-pack or that sexy beach body.
I'm Melinda Clark, and I'm a licensed psychotherapist in private practice. I earned my master's at the University of Miami, and I primarily work with millennials who are experiencing a lot of social pressures from society. When we bring in authenticity, it can be lost when we're feeling pressures to act a certain way, behave in a certain way, or dress in a different way that's maybe not true to who we want to be.
And I'm Dr. Anthony Guadalamuz, Doctor of Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine. I graduated from AOMA Graduate School of Integrative Medicine and then received a clinical specialty doctorate here in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale, TCM Internal Medicine School. I practice with authenticity as the fundamental platform by which I interact with my patients. The reason being is because the ultimate goal is to have the patients embody their awareness. That's my definition for authenticity. Awareness that is put into action. And the reason being is because when we oppose our true nature, we create physical obstructions, emotional obstructions, mental obstructions, which later on produce chronic illnesses.
Dr. Guadalamuz, you make a great point because you're speaking on awareness, and that's really the first step in being authentic, is really knowing where we are. Once we know where we are and where we would like to be, we can begin to implement those fundamental changes.
And one of the things that we were talking about earlier off camera was the obstruction that we get when we kind of create defenses toward whatever obstacles or environmental circumstances present before us. And that actually creates like an emotional constriction or a physical constriction that is actually originated at the emotional aspect. And that physical constraint actually leaves an imprint on us. And so this is where awareness of where that obstruction is can come into play.
I really like how you bring up the idea of obstruction and awareness, because when people come to my office, they're presenting with the challenges they're feeling in that moment, in that situation. However, when we look into what's going on in their whole scope of life, that's really not the issue. It's much deeper than that. Mm-hmm. My goal with them is to really work on how do we look into ourselves and how do we think in that realm. So when someone comes to me, I work with them on different exercises on how to challenge their own thoughts and challenge their own behaviors and feelings.
There's a great concept called the fitness paradox. And what this is saying is, the things that we need the most, we generally dislike the most. Mm-hmm. So let's say, just using it as a general example, most men, we may like more aggressive activities such as lifting weights, sports, running, more action-based. But we may really need yoga, stretching, and Tai Chi.
One thing you said off camera also was like people that don't want to eat vegetables.
Yes.
Touch on that a little bit.
So
that's a good point.
Nutrition and lifestyle is critical. So like I said, if we are not sleeping well, we need caffeine to work out. That our body is telling us, look, we're tired. We need rest. So authenticity meaning let's listen to what our body is telling us. And if you want a very sculpted body that looks beautiful, but you're going against nature's principles of eating a well-balanced diet with whole foods and lots of vegetables, high antioxidants. Cutting corners, skipping steps is not completely going to leading an authentic path, and you may not have authentic long-term results.
Sure.
Sometimes our body and mind, though, can work against each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we feel maybe these pains in our body, but our brain is maybe telling us it's for a different reason than it is.
Yes.
And I think it is important to answer your question before to understand why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So why do I want to go to yoga?
Yeah.
Because I feel comfortable there. Why do I not want to do alternative acts of exercise?
Yes.
For me, it's like and a lot of those choices are very unconscious for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is important to bring them into our awareness.
And no one really enjoys doing things we're not good at. So in working with clients, a lot of times when I introduce new exercises and challenge them, they're not having the greatest time. But once they become more proficient at it, they actually begin to love it.
That's awesome.
So, it's just that constant dance and back and forth of the body, mind, and the spirit.
And so one of the best methods that I have to do that with is auricular therapy. We directly engage the parasympathetic nervous system to the vagal nerve, and people just get zoned out, and they get to tap in. Now that's temporary. The key now is to then utilize that maybe through mental health therapy and physical exercises that complement those practices.
To summarize all of our discussion, basically what we want to inspire is generating more self-awareness. How we're going to do this is we can implement a daily practice of taking a few minutes just to breathe and check in and listen to our body's signals.
And remember, doing this, starting a new practice is not easy. So be patient with yourself. Going into a relaxative state is not easy.
And there are tools that can help you to make this a little bit easier for you, like mental health therapist visits or auricular therapy and things like this, helping you tap into that parasympathetic, zoning in, and allowing for awareness to come to you, and then putting it into action, resulting in authenticity.
We hope this was helpful. Thanks again for tuning in. Body, Mind, Spirit series, episode 9, discussing authenticity.